What's going on, guys? I want to introduce myself. My name is Cody Hawk, and I appreciate everyone watching today. We're going to talk about some really exciting and some cool things today. We're going to talk about the Kindle publishing business. We also are going to reveal some really cool stuff that myself and Steve have been working on. We're going to reveal that in a few minutes. And also, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a free membership to the Kindle Business Academy that myself and my fellow co-host here, Steve Rakin, have created. So that's going to be launching very soon, and we're going to be giving away a copy of that. And Steve, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? My name's Steve Rakin. Appreciate everybody stopping by for at least 30 to 45 minutes to hang out with us and talk about Kindle and talk about some really cool ideas that you guys could take into your life and start making money with. But as a little background, I've been doing Kindle for, man, it's probably like 8 or 9 months now. I lost track. I've been having so much fun with it. Time's just flying by. But been doing it for a while. Every month I've been growing my business, been learning a lot. So that's why we developed this course to help you folks out, and that's why we're doing this live broadcast to be able to share with you guys some really cool ideas that could get you guys making some money. So thanks again for watching, and I'm going to pass it back off to Cody.
All right, guys, so we're going to be talking about some exciting stuff today. The first thing we are going to be doing is giving away a free one-night date with Steve Rakin. All expenses paid by... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, wait, did we discuss that earlier? I wasn't even like...
Guys or girls, welcome. Anything goes. No, what we're going to be talking about today is we are going to be discussing some really cool things with Kindle. Primarily, how to find a profitable niche. So we get a lot of questions on Kindle, both myself and Steve, building up these businesses. And one of the most common questions people seem to have is, how do you build up a profitable niche? How do you find one? How do you master one? How do you become an authority in one? There's so many different aspects to that. So Steve, you want to go ahead and jump right in and get that kicked off?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you could come up with an idea. I mean, a lot of times, one of the most common questions I get is, how do I come up with ideas in terms of, to write a book on? The thing is, there's millions and millions of ideas out there. I mean, honestly, from gardening to photography to e-commerce to different business to spiritual stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. There's endless ideas out there, but the question is, I mean, how do you really start narrowing it down and finding ways to, or topics to write a book on. So I'm going to talk about a few different ways that I go about thinking of ideas and really narrowing it down and choosing a topic to write a book on. So one of the best ways that I like to think of ideas is with the Google keyword tool. So if you're not familiar with this, this is pretty much a tool that is free with a Google AdWords account. So if you don't have one already, be sure to sign up with Google AdWords and check out the Google Keyword Tool. Now, the thing with Google, the Google Keyword Tool, is it'll show you a lot of different information that's related to Google specifically. But the odds are, if people are actually on Google looking for something, there's a good chance people will be looking for it on Amazon as well. But the main reason why I use the Keyword Tool is to think of ideas. So inside of this Google Keyword Tool, you could literally type in different keywords, like eBay or Amazon or Etsy or making money online or weight loss, and you can take a look at the suggested keywords that it spits back to you. That's one way that I use it. So if you type in a keyword like photography, it's going to spit out maybe 40, 50, 60 other phrases and keywords, and pretty much what I'll do is I'll just make a list of all the different keywords, and then when I get to the point where I'm going to be researching the competition and looking for the profitability, I got a lot of different ideas. So, I mean, it's easier said than done. A lot of, there's tons of ideas, but sometimes it's hard to think of them. So the keyword tool is a really awesome one to use. Another tool that I've used in the past, which I know Cody's used a lot more than me, is the Longtail Pro keyword tool. Haven't you used that pretty often, Cody?
Yeah, I've used that for years.
Yeah, so that's pretty similar to the Google keyword tool, but it does cost money. I think it's like $80 or $100 for the license, Cody?
Yeah, and by similar, you mean like 10 times better?
I was going to get into that. So it gives you a lot more information. It gives you a lot more more in-depth information regarding the keywords and whatnot. I'm not an expert on that. If you guys have any questions about that, you could reach out to Cody. But those are two really good keyword tools that you could use free and paid for coming up with ideas. Another way that I come up with ideas is using web directories. Have you ever used that, Cody, to come up with ideas?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, web directories are a good potential route to come up with ideas. And another thing, guys, we want to give you as many resources where you do not have to open up your pocketbook. We want to give you as many ideas, but they've really put the kibosh on a lot of these things, like the Google keyword planning tool, as it's called now, like Steve was mentioning. It's a good tool if you have an AdWords account, and you don't actually have to spend any money on AdWords to utilize it. But it's not as good as it used to be. But one thing I will tell you guys, if you're a rookie and you're just getting started, look into Google Trends. So one thing I do across all my businesses, whether it be selling products on FBA or Kindle, Google Trends will help you know some of the trends out there. And that's actually a tool that I've utilized that a lot of people don't talk about, where you can kind of see what trends are coming into play and kind of stay ahead. I know that I don't know if either one of us actually executed on it. I didn't, because I didn't feel comfortable that I'm an authority in it. But I know, like, for an example, the unfortunate tragedy of Ebola, and we both talked about that a little bit. Yep. Neither one of us really have experience in that, obviously, thankfully, so we didn't get into it. But it's an example of something that popped up, everyone was talking about, everyone was searching. So staying ahead of the game on something like Google Trends or a trending platform, you could use something like Flipboard, even Twitter can help you, realize what's trending and utilize that as the beginning stages of your research.
Yeah, and you mentioned about, not getting into Ebola because, we weren't really experts on it. Now, I mean, when you outsource books, you don't necessarily have to be an expert on the topic. But the thing is, there's just some topics, in my opinion, that are just a little too touchy, that are a little iffy, where you're going to be putting yourself out there on a limb, especially when you're given certain types of, like, medical advice, or you're talking about disease and, outbreaks and stuff like that. It's a very touchy subject. And, I don't know about you, Cody, but I kind of like to, I try to stay away from things that I feel like are just on the fence, where you could really upset people and, get sued over something like that,
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel that I know anything about it. And you're right, we outsource to people who do research and potentially have knowledge in other topics. You guys got to remember, I've heard a lot of this talk like, oh, you can't get 200, nobody knows enough about 200 subjects to write 200 books. You guys got to realize we're outsourcing to a wide range of different writers, but I don't feel there's enough writers out there that we're going to be able to pay to outsource a Kindle book that are going to write on Ebola and do an efficient job to the point where it is worthwhile to the end consumer. So keeping that in mind is always important.
Do you mind sharing that example that you talked about the other day, Cody, with the person who kind of invests in the real estate property, but he contracts out all the work?
As far as like a contractor?
We were given an example how, when you're a Kindle publisher, you're kind of like the contractor, right? Like, as an example, you're kind of like the guy who invests in the real estate. But, the investor, he spends the time looking for other properties, signing contracts, putting business deals together. He doesn't spend his time putting the electrical stuff together or putting up the drywall. Remember that example we were talking about? And it's kind of...
Yeah, absolutely, and that's actually what I used to do, not as an investor, but as a contractor. I would scout out projects. We'd build houses. I was on all different phases of it, and we would sub it out. And that's kind of basically what myself and Steve in this industry and many, many other industries, including other businesses we're both involved in, do. You basically are managing your business as a whole as opposed to doing everything. Now, you could make good money by doing everything, by writing your own books, and I know Steve actually knows a guy, I believe his name is Jeremiah, who did that. Yeah, had some success with that, and there's a lot of other people. Yeah, he's killing it, and there's a lot of other people who've had a lot of success with that. But if you decide to go more of the outsourcing route, which I know a lot of people are into, just realize that you're kind of the brains behind the operation. You're kind of putting the package together, and then you're bringing in the talent that you need to execute on the project, whether it be cover design, editing, whether it be marketing, whether it be the actual writing process. You're the brains behind the operation, and you're kind of putting all this together.
Now, to go even a step farther in this analogy, this comparison that we're making, when you were subcontracting work out, what would happen if you were, always contracting out the worst workers who were doing a lousy job and, let's just say they were screwing everything up? Would you continue to get projects? Would you continue to succeed and grow your business? Or would negative things happen, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't grow at all. You wouldn't actually get paid. There'd be, repercussions, chargebacks, and it's the same
No.
thing in this industry.
I mean, if you're, putting out horrible content, you're hiring bad writers, putting out bad covers. If you're creating a bad experience for the end user, you're not going to make money. So all in all, if you want to succeed in business, and this could go for any business at all, you've got to be offering value to the customer, or else you're never going to make it over the long term. So not only in this broadcast, but in our program, that's something that we really like to put forth is, value, 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 quality, and it's a learning experience. When you first get started, you're gonna struggle a little finding the right writers and the right covers, but if you stick with it and you follow advice from people who've already been down that road, it's gonna really allow you to get there a lot quicker and see the success. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about finding a profitable market or a profitable topic based on the best sellers list, because I know I use it once in a while, and it's really cool because you could go onto Amazon and you could literally go into the best sellers list for different categories and come up with different ideas. So I mean, you could go under the business category and see to yourself, oh look, the options trading books are doing well, or maybe creativity books are doing well under self-help. I mean, have you ever used the Amazon bestsellers list to generate ideas?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of really good ideas on there. And again, it kind of gives you a pull for the market, what people are buying, what the best sellers are. Obviously, there's a large market and a large potential readership for that potential category. And so if you're able to find some books on the bestseller list that you can have recreated little niche topics for your Kindle business, that can be huge, and those books can jump off the shelves really quick.
Exactly. And another method that I use as well, and it's kind of like the Google Trends, but it's just kind of like being aware. It's like having your ears open, your eyes open to what's going on in the world. What are you seeing trending in the TV? Yeah, I got my ear. What was the thing I said the last? I got my ear right up to the screen. Just stay aware of what's going on, on TV, what's trending, what's happening, what are your friends talking about, what's popular, what's really going on. You hear a lot of people talking about marketing on Facebook or YouTube, or what's going on, because honestly, a lot of times if people are talking about it in your general circle and area, there's a good chance that there may be a need for other people out there to learn about it. So again, I mean, there's really endless options in terms of coming up with ideas. Those are some strategies we talked about, using the bestsellers list and going through all the different categories and generating ideas. The key is, write down a whole bunch of ideas. Don't be stingy and just write down 3 or 4. Write down a list of 20, 30, 40, 50 ideas. And then when you get to the next step of analyzing the competition and looking at the profitability, you really have a good list. We talked about using the long tail keyword tool, which is a paid option, but in my opinion, I don't think it's necessary at first. I think once you start making money, it's a great alternative. We talked about the free keyword tool, which is given by Google. It's called the Google Keyword Tool. And we talked about Google Trends, looking on the TV, being aware in your surrounding. And also, one more thing, too, I forgot to mention is the recommended keyword suggestions on Amazon. Do you want to touch on that a little bit? When you type in a keyword into the Amazon search, what happens, Cody?
Yeah, the cool thing about their site is these marketers nowadays in these sites, they're always tracking everyone, which is scary. But I guess the cool thing about it from a business perspective or a marketer's perspective, when you're trying to create a product like a Kindle book, they actually give you suggestions based on popular keywords in that niche. You can look for books in that niche. You type in one, it'll show you what's popular or what other people have bought in that exact niche. So it really gives you a lot of options, and it gives you a small insight to some of the data that a company like Amazon collects, and it gives you a brief chance to be able to use some of that for your business. Companies like Amazon spend hundreds of millions of dollars to put all this stuff together. Obviously, that's not what it's there for. It's there to help them get more sales, but you can flip it around and use it to your benefit as well.
Awesome, man. Great explanation. So now let's take a look in the comment section and shout some people out. Just know, everybody, if you're listening right now, or maybe you're even listening after the broadcast ends live, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Like I said, now or later on, we'll get back to you. We'll answer your question. We'd love to answer it live for you, but feel free to leave a comment below. But let's take a look in the comment section, Cody, and shout some people out. You see anybody in there that you recognize?
Yeah, Louis the Seller is in there, and he's saying, "What's up? What's up, Louis?" Holland Hobbies is in there.
And Holland Hobbies, I know he's been having some good success. He sent me over one of his books about a month ago. It was doing pretty well. Let us know, Holland Hobbies, how's that book doing? I forgot what the subject matter was, but I believe when I looked at it, it was under 100,000 ranks. So definitely let us know.
Yeah, Kayla H is in there. Jamie's Joystick. Mike's in there. Yeah, definitely.
We got some people in here. So again, we just want to thank you. We appreciate you guys taking your time to hang out with us, learn about Kindle, because I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing. You could be working on your business, whether that's eBay, Amazon, e-commerce, or watching TV, or spending time with your family. So again, we appreciate it. We forgot to mention we had a really important announcement that we were supposed to cover in the beginning, Cody, but we forgot. But why don't you announce, everybody, this new service that we're going to be offering and going to be launching today for anybody who's interested.
Okay, so I just actually posted a link. One question we have gotten through the roof is people who need help. So myself and Steve, we have launched a coaching service, which the cool thing about it is we're actually incorporating that into our course as well. Our course is, we made a couple last-minute changes. We had a couple things come up. We're finalizing, but we're still really looking for our right around February 1st launch date. So we'll be launching right around there. We'll be doing the exact date real soon. But for today, we're launching our Kindle Business Academy coaching program. So we have had literally, I don't even know how many people ask us for coaching because they want to jumpstart their business. And while courses are great, having someone actually walk you through the process that has done it before, there's no substitute. I know for me in business, I've had multiple coaches and had multiple people help me and educate me on things that I didn't know. I've worked with multiple 6- and 7-figure marketers, lots of amazing people. And so that's what we're trying to do here is help you guys jumpstart your business, take it to a whole nother level. So as of today, we're only going to take a limited number. So make sure you guys jump in because we are probably going to switch it off. You'll know when we've hit our number because we'll pretty much, we'll let you guys know. But for right now, we're accepting people into our coaching program, and it's 100% live and it's 100% ready to go, and it's on a first come, first serve basis. So if you're interested, make sure you jump in right away. Follow the links on this site over there. It is kindlebusinessacademy.com/coaching. Again, I put the link in the comments just now, so feel free to check that out. You got anything to say about it, Steve?
Yeah, man. I mean, one of the big things about coaching, and I've had several coaches in the past before too, one of the big things is the accountability factor. Knowing that you have somebody there that's going to hold you accountable, that's going to say, you know what, we've got another session next week. You've got to get A, B, and C done before next session. And, everybody wants to protect their reputation. They don't want to look like an idiot and not do something and, would spend your money and waste your money. So the accountability factor is huge. Knowing that there's someone there saying, you've got to get this done. Because that's the thing about running your own business. I mean, that could be eBay, Amazon, Craigslist. That could be a Kindle publishing business. Whatever business, if you're self-employed, there's nobody there that's really holding you accountable. So with this huge opportunity right now, being accountable and knowing that you have someone there that's going to walk you through the entire process, show you step by step what they've done to have success. And again, the success that we've had, we're going to share everything from A to Z, from getting started to scaling up the business, to taking it to the next level, to hiring, to outsourcing, to automating, to covers, to writing. I mean, there's so many different elements. We're going to take you through the exact process. And one of the cool things that we did with this coaching program, and we're going to get back into the content really soon, is we actually made it a tiered coaching program. So we have 4 different tiers because we know everyone's on a different level. Maybe some person only needs a few questions answered. Maybe somebody wants a more extensive coaching session for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time. So we got 4 tiers: a single session, a 4-week program, a 12-week program, and a 6-month program. So again, check us out at kindlebusinessacademy.com/coaching. With that being said, let's get into keywords a little bit, Cody. You want to explain to the people who maybe don't have much knowledge with Kindle or keywords or internet marketing, what is a keyword, and why is it important to focus on keywords when you're writing your Kindle book and publishing it?
Well, a keyword is everything. So let's say, for an example, you guys are interested in how to make money on YouTube. Okay, you've got a few different keywords in there. Now, there's a couple of different types of keywords. There's broad keywords, so carpentry, make money. Those are really, really broad keywords. There's a million different subcontexts that can go in there. Now you get real long tail keyword, and this is why I utilize Longtail Pro, is because it specializes in long tail keywords. And with things that, like Kindle books that are very, very niche, where you're not building a whole name around it, but you're actually solving a pain point for a small niche or topic, long tail keywords are really important. So it's a phrase that allows people to find your product or whatever it is, whether it be blog post, YouTube video, Kindle book. It allows them to find it in the search engine. Remember, Amazon is one of the largest search engines in the world. So whenever there's something in there, it is indexed. It is indexed in the internet, and when you type up a keyword, what happens is the servers say, okay, they typed in this, and they start serving up everything they can in the best order they see fit to basically give you the options for that keyword. Now, that's why keywords are so important, and based by nature, people are not, I don't want to use the word lazy, but they're really not, diving in. That's why people talk above the fold. You want to be able to be aggressive in your niche. You want to be able to be above the fold. So typically that's in the first 4 or 5 listings. And so learning the methods to rank well in keywords is vital in any business, especially Kindle.
Yeah, one really big tip that I want to give out, and not a lot of people use this. This is a real nice secret tip. But when you're using your keywords, one thing that I always like to do, let's say my keyword is YouTube, right? I'm going to create a book. That's the market I want to get into, is YouTube. I've decided that the keyword I want to focus on is YouTube. What I like to do is I like to make YouTube the first word in my title and subtitle. So, for example, maybe the title would be YouTube, and then the subtitle would be, how to make $200 a month on YouTube. That's just a random example. But even if your keyword that you were going after, maybe it's more long tail, was YouTube video marketing, make YouTube video marketing the first phrase in the title. Do you use that as well, Cody?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's really important, and when you're first getting started, I mean, that's a great tip for people to be able to utilize.
Let's say you have 2 books with 2 different titles, both on YouTube. One book is called How to Make Money with YouTube Video Marketing, and then the next book is called YouTube Video Marketing, How to Make Money Online. If you want to see which one's going to rank higher, the one that has YouTube Video Marketing is going to rank so much higher than the other one, because that's just how the Amazon algorithm works. And pretty much an algorithm is, I'm going to let you explain it. What's an algorithm?
A piece of junk, really.
Who needs an algorithm?
Well, not us, but what it does is it's basically a computerized system. Algorithms have gone too far. Algorithms are doing everything. They're ranking things. They're basically a way for the internet to cheat. You're going to find algorithms, complex algorithms on Craigslist, eBay, YouTube, Amazon, Google, every site. Algorithms are actually downsizing and firing people nowadays. Literally, computers are firing people. So I get all fired up about algorithms, but ultimately it's a complex computer equation, and the problem with it is they're trying to make it, in the old school, people who've been marketing for a while like myself used to do what's called black hat SEO and all these different tricks to try to trick. Well, what they've done is they've created these algorithms that 12 people in the world know how to understand, kind of like complex freaking derivatives back with the financial crisis. They create things and they make them up that no one understands. That way no one can cheat the system. And so with algorithms, you got to do the best you can to basically please it, make it happy, and serve up keywords twofold. A, you need to have quality keywords that people are searching for, but B, if you're spammy, the algorithm will push you down into oblivion. That's why
Exactly.
if you don't like I know for you, for an example, Steve, you put your eBay store on vacation for a while. When you come back, you get no sales, even if you have 2,000 listings, because the algorithm has pushed you so far down that you barely exist. You have to work your way back up. Keywords are a great way to do that.
So pretty much in English, I mean, it's just a set of rules that this computer system has put forth, and these rules, if you follow them or not follow them, could favor you or not favor you. So right now, using your specific keyword for the first thing in the title and the subtitle, so if it's YouTube video marketing, putting it as the first word in the phrase of the title and subtitle is going to help you to rank based on the algorithm now. Now, again, they could change the algorithm, and then you maybe would have to do something different. But just want to give you a little insight in terms of what an algorithm was and how it works in terms of ranking. I want to talk a little bit about when you're choosing your keywords. Let's talk a little bit about choosing too broad of a keyword and choosing too narrow of a keyword. What are your thoughts on that? Because what is too broad of a keyword?
Well, too broad of a keyword, like I said a minute ago, is something like carpentry. Because yes, carpentry, a lot of people think of like framing or building something out of wood, but I mean, it could be drywall, it could be finish work, it could be doors. There's a million different topics within that. So to try to target something like that, take it from a marketing standpoint. If you're paying every time someone clicks on carpentry, but you're actually selling doors, then you're going to spend a lot of money on people who aren't interested in doors. Now, with a narrow keyword, if you're trying to sell doors and your keyword is, French doors or something crazy, it might be too narrow and there might be too small of a market. So if you kind of whittle your market down too small, you might have a very limited audience to close to no audience. If it's too broad, you'll get a lot of clicks, a lot of traffic, but you'll eventually get pushed down and penalized because everything has what's called a bounce rate. And not to get too technical, but with a bounce rate, it's when somebody clicks, takes no action, and moves. So basically they bounce on. You track this, anybody who owns a website, like myself and Steve own several, when you do that, you track the bounce rate. Somebody who doesn't really take action, they click on a page, move on. Well, it's the same thing with these links. Somebody clicks and moves on, it actually affects you. Getting back to algorithms, it'll push you down, and you want to avoid that. And so that's very important, not to choose too broad or too small of a keyword. You really want to find your target market.
Exactly, man. I couldn't have said it any better. And one thing that you he's good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just don't mention the algorithm around him or he'll get in a really bad mood. But one thing that you can do, and this has helped out a lot, and I've heard a few people mention it before, but this is like one of the main things that I do. This is like really like the secret ingredient right here to success with Kindle. One of the best things that you can do when deciding to make that final choice and, I'm going to write a book on this keyword, is to take that keyword and throw it into the Amazon search bar under ebooks or Kindle and see if other books are selling for that specific keyword. So after the show, I want you to take into consideration the keyword YouTube video marketing. That's a keyword phrase. Go to Amazon.com, go into the Kindle section, because when you're doing your research, you always want to make sure you're doing it under Kindle. Take YouTube video marketing, type it in, and take a look at the top 5 to 10 selling books on there. And I'm talking about the top 10 that are ranking the highest to the top. Go all the way down and click open, and take a look at the sales rank of each book that's ranking for that keyword and see if it's selling or not. Because honestly, one of the best ways to know if you can make money from a book is to see what's already happening with the books that are ranking for that keyword. So if you take a look at the top 5, top 10 books, and you notice they're all 600,000 ranked, 700,000, 800,000, or even 400,000, you already know right then and there that people aren't buying those books. Now, there could be several factors to why they're not buying them, but one of the main reasons why is because it's either too broad or people don't want to spend money on that topic. Maybe people would rather go to YouTube and type in YouTube video marketing and learn about it for free versus paying for it. So one of the best ways to know if you can make money from a specific market and to go a step further, a specific niche within that market, is to see what's already going on. You don't want to spend your hard-earned money and spend all your time putting together a book to not have it sell. So if the competition's selling it and making money from it, and you follow the steps that we teach and create a high-quality cover, a great title, an excellent book, there's no reason why you shouldn't sell as well and even sell more having all this information. Do you want to touch on that a little bit, Cody?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it couldn't be more important, and that's quality is key. I think that there's a common misconception with Kindle books. People can, to kind of get off that topic just for a quick second, but a
Sure.
lot of people seem to have this conception that shorter means worse. Like you need to have a 300-page book for it to actually resonate or matter. And to be perfectly honest, I'd say 70% of the books I read, because I try to read at least once a day for a minimum of a half hour, when, pretty much every day, and I'd say 70 to 80% of the books, I really get something out of maybe a chapter or two. Now, there are books like The 4-Hour Workweek, which I love, and a lot of other great ones that I'd read the whole thing over and over. But that's the thing with Kindle books. They're really a target. But you can't put up low quality, and I think that's the biggest thing. And that's why Kindle is such an amazing opportunity right now, and that's why me and Steve are really pushing these pushing these free hangouts, pushing, to help people, is because there's such an opportunity, because there's such low quality on there, that if you're somebody who wants to produce something out of, quality products, it doesn't have to be, 20, 25 pages. You can really change someone's mindset or help them solve a problem in many, many, many niches. So keep that in mind. If you're striving for quality and you're really following these fundamentals, that's really what this is all about.
And don't be scared to experiment. Try short, try medium length, try longer books. See what works for you. I mean, so many times, we like to take people's advice, and that's great. It's great to be taking our advice and others and checking out different programs. But at the end of the day, you really want to go with your gut feeling sometimes. Try different things out and see what works for you. Kind of find your own niche. Find what you're good at. Find what you specialized in. And the opportunities are really endless. But I'm actually, to shift gears a little bit, I'm looking in the comment section, and a few minutes ago I was talking about a guy named Holland Hobbies who had reached out to me a while ago, and he had a book that was selling pretty well. I think it was his first book that he had published, and it was doing well. He reached out to me on Facebook, and he just responded and said, "Thanks, Steve. I have 3 books on Kindle now." So congratulations, Holland Hobbies. He tripled his books. I have 1 in small business and 2 in self-help. 2 are doing well, staying in the 20,000 to 80,000 rank consistently.
Good job.
That's an excellent rank. The other is struggling, and I'm trying tweaks on it. It hovers around 150,000 to 250,000, which isn't horrible. You're still making money. I just got my first 30 days on Kindle completed and should make around $250, man. Awesome.
Good job.
I'm happy with that for my first month and 3 books. That's really good for 3 books. I want to thank both of you for your information, help, and motivation. I can't wait for the Kindle Business Academy. What do you think about that, Cody?
That's awesome. But I mean, the biggest highlight is him, taking action. Obviously, I know I've seen some, Holland Hobbies has been around and everything, and definitely a guy who takes action. But he took action, and look what he's been able to do with the measly 3 books. A lot of people are like, oh, Cody and Steve, 100 books or all these books. Guy has 3 books, about 250,000, 1 month. Why? Because he's a go-getter. He took action. He started putting things into place, and look at him now. And it's only uphill from here if he continues to duplicate this. So very, very happy for him, and look forward to hearing more about his success as he grows.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Once you start, it's amazing, because I could speak from my own experience, and I'd like to hear what you have to say too, Cody. But I remember when I first got started, right? I had taken some programs, and I was getting on my way. But I hadn't made any money yet, and I was skeptical. I didn't know, I had all these big plans, but I wasn't making any money because I didn't have any books published. But after my first book, second book, third book, and after making some mistakes and struggling, I started making my first, my first royalties through Amazon, and it's an amazing feeling, because we could sit here, everybody who's watching, and even ourselves included, when we had first started, but you could sit there and plan stuff out, but until you publish that first book, you're not really in the game. You're kind of you're in the audience. You're just watching. You're a spectator. You're a spectator, man. And once you you jump up to the plate, and you get the bat in your hand, and you swing the bat and you get your first hit, man, it feels really good, and it's motivating, and it's one of the best feelings ever, knowing that you put together a book, you hired the cover, you wrote the book yourself or outsourced it, you strung it all together, you marketed it, you promoted it, and you made money from it. It just brings me back to when I first published my first few books. It's an amazing feeling. And once you start making that money, you're like, wow, you see the potential, right? You're like, holy mackerel, I can publish 5 books, 10 books, 15 books. What was it like for you, Cody, when you first got started and you made your first, 10, $20 on Kindle?
It was huge. It was huge. And I'll say I didn't start off as strong as Holland Hobbies over here. I mean, I was
Neither
frustrated.
did I.
Yeah, I was frustrated in the beginning. I didn't have a lot of success, and I kept hitting a wall. I kept hitting a wall. I bought a couple of courses. The courses were absolute garbage. I won't name them because I would never do that to somebody, but they were absolute garbage, and they didn't help at all. They gave me basic information at best. They did nothing, and it took me a little while. So when I finally got to that point and and it wasn't that long ago where almost no one was even talking about Kindle on YouTube. That's part of the reason we started doing this hangout and really giving information, and that's certainly the reason we wanted to create the best course out there with the Kindle Business Academy, because we saw what was wrong with the industry, and we didn't have that when we got started. So when I finally made my first couple bucks, I was doing flips on my my rebounder like you, Steve. I mean, I was all over it. No, I don't have one of those, but I was excited because it's exciting to put so much into something. I mean, I told you the story before, Steve, and other people, that I was at a point in my life once where I would have paid $1,000 just to make $1 online. I mean, I struggled a lot getting going, but I never gave up. And if you guys take anything from what we're talking about, don't give up. Keep going. Look at Holland Hobbies, who's actually making it happen. Look at Rakin, who's going to do 5 million books a month now. I mean, he's just going for it. And, I've been able to put a lot of stuff together, but that's because I never give up. And if you take anything from that, if you don't try, you don't have a chance. But give yourself permission to take a chance. What do you have to lose?
There's really nothing to lose. It's one of those businesses where, and I talked about this in the course. I mean, even if you have...
Well, legally we can't say there's nothing to lose. You could actually lose $40-$50, but I mean, if you actually continuously try.
The point I was trying to make is, of course, there's always something to lose, because if you're not losing your money, you're losing your time. The point I was going to make was, even if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have, investments, or you don't have money in the bank, you can write your own book. You can create your own cover. You do have your time to lose, but it's one of those businesses where you could get in for very little money. You could experiment on the budget, and you can really go at your own pace. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this. Right now, I'm actually trying to convince my mother to get into Kindle publishing. She does retail arbitrage. She does FBA, and I believe she's 60 years old. She's not really, into the whole technology thing, and she doesn't really know a lot about it. But she's getting motivated because she's seeing others do it, and she's hearing me talk about it, and she wants to make money. So I'm actually getting ready to get her started. But a lot of people, the thing is, they're so nervous. They let their fears get to them. They overthink things, and they worry about things that don't even happen yet. I mean, so if you take anything out of this live hangout, just get started, right? Take that first step. Publish that first book. Hold your judgments back until you publish your first book and you see the results that you get, because I think you really will be amazed at the results that you can get with very little effort. But with just hard work and commitment and consistency.
I'm amazed at two things. First of all, I'm amazed that you just said your mom's age on a live hangout. Second of all, I'm amazed that she's 60. She looks like she's in her 40s. What are you talking about? I think you're lying to people because she's the best businesswoman in the Rakin household. What's going on?
Oh, man. I'm going to be in big trouble. I'm going to have to make sure that she doesn't watch this video, because I'm going to be wow. Never mention a woman's age. Okay. Let's just cut the broadcast off right now and redo the whole thing. But
it's already live now, buddy.
Oh, man, I'm in big trouble. That's the thing with these live hangouts. You say the wrong thing, you can't go back. But let's switch gears a little bit and talk about competition, analyzing the competition. Because, you could find a great keyword, you could find a good market, but just like with anything in life, some things are going to be more competitive, some things are going to be less competitive, some things are going to be easier and harder, some things will take longer to achieve. What's one thing that you take into consideration, Cody, when looking at the competition for a specific niche or keyword that you want to go after for creating a book about?
Well, I look at the big picture. I look at what people are currently doing in that niche. And when it comes to competition, I'm looking to find if somebody is dominating that niche. So in my opinion, one good book is not really even competition, because there's room for many good books. So I look at things a little bit differently, but I'm not a gambler, but I'm someone who will always swing that bat and give it a shot. And I feel that if you do that enough, you'll be successful. And so when I look at competition, I'm trying to find out, is there one person who is just killing it in a niche, or is it open? If there's one or two good books, doesn't mean I can't get in there as well. But if there's one or two people who have just destroyed it, amazing sales ranks, high quality, good quality content, that might be too much competition to get in, especially in the beginning when you don't have, maybe some of the marketing knowledge and things like that. But that's kind of how I look at competition. I do it a little bit different.
One of the things that I look at, and this is one of the biggest factors that the Amazon algorithm takes into consideration when determining how well you rank, is how many reviews the books have. This is huge. You're going to notice that books that have, 15, 20, 30, 40 reviews, it's going to be a lot more challenging for you to overtake them in terms of rank because they're established. Amazon's favoring them because people are saying good things about them. And they're kind of recognized as, really well done books that are helping people out because the more positive reviews a book has, the better it technically is. So I look at reviews. That's one thing that I spend a good amount of time looking at is, because I want to usually rank on the first page for sure, especially if it's really competitive. A lot of people say, if you can't rank number 1, number 2, number 3, don't go after it. That's not true at all. If a market is very competitive, a lot of times it means that there's a lot of money flowing into it. And if there's a lot of money flowing into it, you don't necessarily have to be, the top 10. You can even be in the 12th, 13th. I've got books where I'm ranked like 15th, and I'm still, under 100,000 rank, under 50,000 rank, making good money. And also, sometimes you'll even rank for other keywords, for secondary keywords that you use as well in your title, description, and the keyword section. But reviews is huge. It pulls a lot of weight. So that's one thing I look for. I mean, if the top 10 books all have more than 100 reviews, I'm probably going to stay away from it. But even then, if it's a big enough market and they're selling really well, you could still possibly make money, but that's definitely more of an advanced strategy.
But also, if it's a big enough market, you can break the market down.
And you could go more long tail, right? You could go more broad. So all because a lot of times too, like someone will want to get into a specific niche or focus on a certain keyword. Maybe that's too competitive, but like you said, break it down, add an extra word, go into something a little different, a little unique. That people are also searching for, and do your research. Another thing I look for is I take a look at the overall quality of these books, like just kind of like just like a quick overview, like how's the covers look on these top 10 books? How are the descriptions? Are they long? Are they lengthy? Are they using HTML, or are they short and really amateurish? How are the titles? Are they descriptive? Are they compelling? Are they using keywords? Are the top books focusing on the specific keyword? Are they leaving that door open? What's the page count? What's the price of these books? Because, if the top 4 or 5 books are all $6, $7, $8, $9.99, you could come in there with $2.99, $3.99 and pretty much steal the show if you offer good content. So there's really a lot of different things to look for in terms of competition. But again, to kind of sum things up and wrap things up, you want to get into a profitable market. You want to choose a keyword that people are searching for and that you can rank for. You want to make sure the books are selling for that specific keyword. And you really want to do the best you can to create a high-quality book in terms of all the different factors that go into it. Is there anything else you want to mention on that?
No, I mean, you summed it up very, very well. You did a great job on that. I think we should jump in and look at a couple of comments in the comment section. I got a really good one here. Actually, Louis the Seller said, how important or how beneficial is it to have pictures related to the topic of your ebook?
So I think Louis was talking about like putting pictures inside the book.
Possibly.
Or is he talking about the cover? I mean, I'll answer both. I mean, for the cover, you want to make sure the picture is really compelling, that it kind of offers a solution. If you're trying to make money online, if that's your book, have a picture of someone making money or just something that kind of translates into what the benefit of reading the book would be. If you're talking about like inside the book, having pictures, I usually try to stay away from putting pictures inside my books. The main reason is because it's very difficult to format them within the Kindle when you go to convert it and everything. That is more of an advanced strategy. I have done it before, but you got to be very careful when you're putting pictures in your book. Not only that you hold all rights to them, which means you're purchasing your pictures, or you're using pictures that are royalty free. But it's just difficult to format them sometimes, and I try to avoid them. How about you, Cody?
Yeah, I avoid them at most costs. There's been a few occasions where I've utilized them, but you got to make sure you have licenses. You got to make sure everything, like you already said. And in most situations, it doesn't really add enough value, in my opinion. Now, on the, I don't know. I guess if you're doing something where a picture could really, they say a picture is 1,000 words, but I just don't find it useful in most of mine.
And that's one thing you got to consider too when you go to write a book on a topic. You've got to ask yourself, if you're kind of worried about pictures, you have to ask yourself, if I was to write a book on this topic, would pictures be necessary? So, like, if you're going to write a book on maybe learning how to crochet or learning how to draw, I mean, you're going to need pictures. You're going to need demonstrations. So if you don't know how to do that type of stuff, or you're nervous about the formatting, you might want to avoid that. Just because, again, it's somewhat difficult to be able to use the pictures. But thanks for the question, Louie. See what else we got in the comments section right here. Holland Hobbies, can't thank you guys enough. You planted the seed in my head with Kindle, and it is a very exciting situation. All right, let's see, what else do we got here? You see any other questions?
Not offhand. Do you think we're about time for the giveaway?
Yeah, sure. So pretty much, I didn't want to complicate it live, so I took all the people who entered into the contest, and I believe, I'm trying to remember, to enter the contest, we wanted everybody to shout out in the comment section. What was it again?
I think it's I want to make money with Kindle.
Yeah, I want to make money with Kindle. So I ended up posting the video on my channel as well, and on Cody Hawk's channel, of course, it was live. So I went to both of the comments, picked out all the people who entered, and I plugged all the names into random.org. And it's a website where it pretty much just shuffles up all the names, and you could choose a winner. And I chose a winner, and the winner was Felony RS. FELONY-RS. So Felony RS, you are the winner. And what are we giving away again?
We're giving away a one-night date excursion. All expenses
so I'm in
paid.
Connecticut, so I mean, you've got to have your own airfare and everything to come over here.
I thought you were paying for that with all your big money.
Oh man, is that what I agreed to?
I think so. No, we're giving away a copy of the Kindle Business Academy. So you will get that on launch day. So we'll be launching very, very soon. We'll be in contact with you. Obviously, on launch day, we will be sending you your login and password information, and you will have a free membership to the Kindle Business Academy.
Yeah, so, again, I appreciate everybody, and Cody and I, we appreciate everybody entering into the contest. We were kind of talking about possibly maybe giving another one away next week. But you're going to have to stay tuned for that, right?
yeah, you'll definitely have to stay tuned. And I think what we're going to do is, I think next time we're going to do something only for the live members, because I kind of don't feel right for these amazing people. Obviously, we don't have a huge audience right now, but we do have an audience right now. And I don't know if Felony is in the audience or not. I didn't see any comments from him. He did win, and you get the course. And I've seen your comments in the past. We appreciate your support. But I think for our next giveaway, it is going to be mandatory to be live, and that way we're going to give it away live. I think that's more of the fair route. I didn't think of that till after we announced it, but for our next one, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, so we're going to do that for sure next time. If you follow us live, we're going to give it away live. We'll figure a creative way to do so. But if you want to know when these shows are going to be, airing live, of course, if you're already, I'm sure you are subscribed to Cody Hawk. That's where we do the live hangouts. But also you can follow us on social media at Facebook, Rake and Profit, and Facebook, Cody Hawk as well. You can also subscribe to our mailing list in the comment section as well, which we'll put after the video, which is kindlebusinessacademy.com. If you sign up for the mailing list, we keep you in the loop with updates, and we're going to give some discounts for when the course launches and some other benefits as well. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe to that mailing list, and we're gonna in the future we're gonna be putting out some more content and sending it to those people exclusively. So check that out. Also, if you're just tuning in, we did launch our brand new coaching program. That's going to be Cody and I. We're going to be doing some private coaching. It is going to be a limited spaces. There's not going to be just as much spaces as you want, because we want to make sure that we have enough time to spend not only on all the businesses, but give you guys all the time and effort that we can to have you succeed. So that is a coaching program that has 4 different tiers. There's going to be a single session tier, a 4-week program, a 6-week program, and a 12-week and a 6-month. I'm sorry. So 4-week, 12-week, 6-month, and single session. Limited spaces available, so first come, first serve. You could find information out about our coaching at thekindlebusinessacademy.com/coaching. But I think that's it. I'm going to hand it off to Cody in a minute, but I'm going to say thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to leave some more comments in the comment section regarding Kindle publishing, or any questions regarding our new course coming out, or anything that you need help with. We're here to help you out. You can check me out on YouTube at Rake and Profit. Of course, you're on Cody Hawk's channel, Cody Hawk. He's got some good information as well. But thanks again, and I'm going to let Cody wrap it on up.
All right, guys, so we really appreciate it. If you're interested in the coaching, like Steve said, go ahead and check it out. If not, that's cool too. Go ahead and check out next week's Hangout. Next week's Hangout will be probably the same time, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern next Thursday. And that's going to be an exciting one. We want to give more stuff away to the live members like we were talking about. That's going to be an exciting one, because we are getting inches away from the launch of the Kindle Business Academy, and that is going to take the Kindle world by storm. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate all your guys' comments, engagement, likes, dislikes, emails, and we will see you guys in the next one.